太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们的解放哎，人民翻身当家做主人，咿呀咿自由呀呀。
We are happy to announce yet more reforms on the channel. We will now be adding video tags, so EarthMC, a 5-year-old, can find these videos without looking. We sincerely hope you enjoy this program. In a great shock to all of New Jersey, the College of Electors has chosen the great Communist General Secretary Pavlovich as the next New Jersey Presidente. The Communists celebrated this great victory in the streets. Sadly, you cannot win every time. So far, all the Communist government's reforms have been rejected by the great and grand Assembly of the land. This started with the Assembly rejecting the repeal of the Witchcraft Act of 1708. Later, it also rejected the repeal and replacement of the Criminal Offences Act 1601. The most recent proposal, an amendment to the Education Act of 1914, sparked quite the debate in the Assembly.
This is a journey into a lunatic asylum.
House of Commons, Commons of House.
I'm the coolest cat.
And I'm a little mouse.
House of Commons, when nothing's ever changed.
I'd fight and die for my country.
We'll see if that can be arranged.
There's a doctor in the house, but no nurses in the hospital.
Fellow gentlemen of the Assembly, this amendment is preposterous. How can we lift the maximum number of women who can study at university at any given time? It's crazy, I tell you. The National Conservative Party will not stand for this great societal change. Fellow comrades, this clause hampers the progression of women in our society. It is time to change that. The Communist Party will bring that change.
Fellow gentlemen and ladies. Thank you. Now, women in this country have been oppressed for many years.
The Banana Council disapproves of this.
In other news, our Supreme Shadow Leader has democratically elected himself Supreme Shadow Leader. This week, a national tragedy took place. The people were shocked when Great Harlem City was bombed by evil terrorists from Quebec. Our great president has stated he will overthrow the illegitimate fascist dictatorship of Quebec. In order to achieve this, the US will ally with the good nationalist evergreen military junta. In other news, the most recent press conference, our great Presidente stated he has many plans for the future, including a nuclear winter. And now on to the real news. False God Fix has yet again deepened the class divide in order to make it less so. Premium players may now have longer render distance, while the peasants suffer. However, the money will definitely trickle down to the players. This is known as trickle-down economical server improvement. We see no reason why not to believe this will happen. After all, Sweden is a premier socialist nation. In other news, Staying true to its name, Slave Lake has joined the Commonwealth. As a colony, hip hip hooray! The evil and corrupted GRE has announced the results of its clearly rigged election. Clearly they could learn a thing or two how to cover up election from Democratic most New Jersey. The evergreen military junta has held elections in order to appease its peasants. A general called Best Name Ever was elected in a landslide 99% victory. He will now serve as El Presidente, probably for life. Continuing with these flawed election systems, Japan has elected Sirene as its next Prime Minister. The evergreen military junta continues to expand, now annexing Rishon-Alaska after a short skirmish over Anchorage. Meanwhile, down south, Saf has been elected the Supreme Chancellor and savior of all Texan people. The Germans too held election. Showing that he is insane, Warrior has created the nation of Libya. We await the civil wars in Pasta with little patience. In Baguette Land, France has joined the International Defense Coalition. Continuing in Baguette Land, Francia has joined the Sunbelt Alliance. After all, she is only 8,000 kilometers away from the south of the United States of America. And now, a word from our sponsor. Premiere is the #1 shop in the world. Not buying from them would be a sin against the sunflower, Pepe God, or whatever hell religion you believe in. Look in the description and go over there, you bloody peasant. Yes, glory to Finland in Premiera. Help Finland defeat the capricious Russians today. Continuing the news, some creephole known as Kalmar has joined Estonia as vassal state. Sadly, bleep lobbyist imperialism grows on ever stronger. Some people do not learn from New Jersey's best election system. However, Queen of Janson has used her prerogative and divine right to silence people in the name of fair and free elections. After a fair and free appeals trial, Prayer JSV has been found not guilty of crimes against Fix and has been sent back to Earth MC.
Was fährt so spät auf hoher See? Das Kronjuwel der Bassarmee, die Bassmark und sein Kapitän, das weltweit größte Soundsystem. Auf diesem Schiff ist abgehend Pflicht, zu laute Musik gibt es nicht. Hier kommt der Sound, der Kiefer bricht wie ein Wolframklotz in dein Gesicht. Wir haben nicht den besten Ruf, dafür den besten